Hi guys, my name is Tito. I make videos on personal finance, saving, and investing most of the time, but some other times I do other things. Like today, when I'll be reviewing episode 6 of the new show, The Olive, which shows on Accelerate TV. Now, The Olive premiered a month ago, I think, in May, and it's a drama about a young widower called Anayo, who is just trying to get through life, raising his 3 young children after losing his wife to cancer and also losing his job. Now, at some point, he decides to try and revive his late wife's restaurant just to keep body and soul together. And he goes there one night and he finds a phone and some documents which kind of give an indication to some funny or suspicious activities that his wife was, involved with before her passing. Now, this information naturally takes Anayo down a bit of a rabbit hole. Now, the show stars Ibrahim Suleiman as Anayo and Theresa Edem as his late wife Ehi. It also stars Kabiri Fubara, Bolaji Ogunmola, Stanley, and a host of other fantastic young actors. Now, before I recap episode 6, allow me to bring you up to speed real quick with episodes 1 through 5. In episode 1, it's a year after his wife Ehi's passing, and Anayo is trying to get his life on track. He loses his job early on in this episode because of inefficiency at work, and he finds his daughter making out with a boy in his kitchen. He also goes to his wife's old restaurant where he finds an old phone with some suspicious messages on it. In episode 2, Anayo becomes obsessed with the text messages on the phone and he reaches out to the former manager of his wife's restaurant, Mrs. Kijo, hoping that she can provide some answers. In episode 3, as he continues to dig deeper and to look at his late wife's old documents in a bid to figure out what exactly the text messages on the phone were about, Anayo discovers that his late wife, Ehi, had bought the building that the restaurant was in and it wasn't rented like he thought. He also decides to reopen the restaurant and he invites Mrs. Kijo to come back as its manager. In episode 4, Anayo reopens the restaurant and he obtains the name and address of the family that adopted Ehi as a child from the orphanage The Olive. But that leads to another dead end as the Attas no longer live at that address. In episode 5, it turns out that someone had been blackmailing Mrs. Kijo and making her steal supplies from the restaurant in the past, and now that the restaurant has reopened, they're blackmailing her again. Anayo also tells his daughter Adora that he won't be able to send her back to the United States for her studies due to financial constraints. Also, one Benson Atta, who claims to be a member of Ehi's adopted family, reaches out to Anayo for a meeting. And that brings us to this week's episode, episode 6. And the focus on this one is more on Anayo's first daughter, Adora. And I think it's good, because Adora seems to have potential and she seems to be an interesting character on her own. And it's, nice to shift the focus to someone else for a change. Anyway, in this week's episode, she's a bit downcast because her boyfriend, David, isn't giving her attention. In episode 5, she had told David that her dad had said that he wouldn't be sending her back to the US to study. And Adora and David study in the US together. But, she told David she won't be going back. And David was like, okay, no problem. They can still, be boyfriend and girlfriend. But in this episode, episode 6, David isn't replying text messages. And that gets Adora quite upset and anxious. So she goes over to David's place, confronts him, and David says, look, I don't think this can work. I don't want to be tempted, this, that, and the other. And he breaks up with Adora. And I guess he did the right thing by breaking up with her here in Nigeria before returning to the States to study. And, it would have been uncomfortable for him to have done it on the phone. But he shouldn't have waited, he shouldn't have frustrated Adora into her, confronting him about not replying text messages and whatnot. But I think he did the decent thing, sort of. David's character is played by Folarin, who is a fantastic rising actor, a friend of mine, and I think I'll miss him a bit, if he's not going to be in future episodes. But anyway, Adora is single now, she's a bit heartbroken, she's downcast, and surprisingly, her younger sister is the one who cheers her up in this episode and tells her, to look on the bright side and reminds her of the awesome person that she is. I look forward to seeing where Adora goes from here, because from episode 1, Adora has pretty much just been about, David and her relationship and, helping her dad here and there. Now that David is out of the picture, I look forward to seeing what they'll do with Adora's character And, hopefully she'll get a makeover and, she'll switch things up and hopefully change that hairstyle that she's been carrying since episode 1. If you watch the show, you would have noticed that hairstyle too. Don't tell me you haven't noticed that hairstyle. Anyway, as for Anayo, he meets up with his best friend Toby and his wife, and he tells them that he met a relative of Ehi's, someone from Ehi's adopted family, and they're a bit suspicious about this character because Ehi, while she was alive, never mentioned this relative. And Anayo kind of picks up on that, okay, why would the guy lie? Now, luckily, Anayo had another meeting with this character. I think his name was Benson Atta. He's played by Mawuli Gavor anyway. And they have another meeting, and as they're, conversing and they're chatting, Mawuli's character accidentally mentions the wrong name of the orphanage where Ehi was in. He calls it St. Agnes or St. Anne's or something like that, whereas the name of the orphanage was the Olive. And Anayo picks up on that and he questions him further that, look, who are you really if you don't know the orphanage or the name of the orphanage that you claimed to have gone to visit my wife Ehi several times when you guys were kids? All in all, it was a dope episode. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to episode 7. I hope so many questions will be answered, like who hired, Mawuli's character? Why are they trying to deceive Anayo? Who is blackmailing Madame Kijo and why? And most importantly, before the season is over, will Adora get a makeover and change her hairstyle? So many questions. But anyway, guys, if you want to watch The Olive, it's on YouTube. You can watch it anytime. It's aired. Well, new episodes come out every Friday on Accelerate TV. Be sure to check it out. Now, I don't just do reviews of TV shows and movies. I do that, once in a while. You can check some old reviews out by clicking on the card in the corner of the screen. You know the deal. But primarily, what I do more on my channel is I do personal finance videos that can help you learn how to save and invest better. So feel free to check some of those videos out as well. I'll put some links to some videos in the card in the corner of the screen. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching The Olive, please let me know in the comment section below. Holla at me on Instagram. Let's chat about it. Tell me what you love about it, what you expect, how you think the season is going to pan out, and any other thing that you feel like telling me. Thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you in the next one. Take care.